YouTube, we back and we have a big chop today, man. I promise you, when he sat down, I thought he was just gonna be like, yo, give me the taper, give me the little blowout, like he always does. He's been doing this for a couple years, but no, today he said, I want to do the big chop. I'm gonna brush my hair flat at the end, but please be careful with my corners, because if you scalp me, my corners will be exposed. So we are not going to be doing that today. That's what today's focus is going to be. I'm going to show you guys how to get this big chop while still being considerate for your clients' requests, right? To protect my corners, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to be doing that today. But the first things first, you need to pick the hair and make sure it's fully elevated. You want to stretch out the curl so it's easy for your clipper to feed into it. So this is just setup work. You set it up now so that way you're making it easier for yourself later. If it's picked out, the clipper is going to feed easily. In my opinion, if you're going to be debulking, you should always close the guard. So in this case, I'm going to use a number 6 guard. And we're going against the grain. I've never cut his hair down low before, so I wanted to play it safe. Started with the number 6 guard going against the grain. So, if the hair is growing forward, you cut it backwards. If the hair is growing to the left, you cut it to the right. That's what against the grain means. We're trying to cut this thing nice and tight to the scalp. So now that we've already cut everything down to the desired length, or at least not exactly the desired finished length, but I took a lot of the bulk off using that number 3 guard, that number 6 guard. Now I'm gonna go here through it with my pick one more time, but this time I'm gonna be picking it with the grain, because the true cut that we're gonna be doing today is a number 3 going with the grain. So his hair's still pretty thick. That's why I'm using a comb. That's why I'm using a pick instead of a comb. But yeah, we're just gonna be treating this like a with the grain cut, starting from the crown, working our way down. So like I said, same thing applies. You're gonna start with that lever closed, and we're gonna be going with the grain, paying attention to the grain that the hair grows in. It's easiest for me to start at the crown and work my way down. You're gonna notice too, I'm being very careful and I'm using a light hand when I get to the corner, because I don't wanna gouge him. I don't wanna scalp and patch that part of his head. So I'm just gonna be using a light hand, float it over that area. I wanna leave extra hair there that I can line up later. Now, you guys know the best way to taper, in my opinion, is going in with no guard, lever closed. We're gonna start that and treat this as our bald line. I'm not gonna go in with the trimmer, because remember, the trimmer is what I used to put in hard lines like in the front of his edge, right, to line them up. But remember, guys, the harder that you put in a line now, the harder it is going to be to take it out later. So that's why I start with the lever closed, and then I give myself a little more space here with the clipper with the lever open. This is going to give me some blending room, and I'm going to take this all the way around. Don't be afraid to stretch out this part of the fade. If this part of your fade is nice and stretched out, the rest of your fade is gonna look pretty blurry. If it's super compressed, your fade is gonna look compressed. So in my opinion, this is the part that you wanna stretch out. You can compress the rest of the fade, but not this part here, guys. So now we're gonna start doing the debulking process, and in my opinion, look at how this clipper is gonna move. I got the 2 guards starting tight at the bottom and floating my way up and off the scalp. So that way I don't have to use my 5, my 4, my 3. I could just use the 2 guard open and closed, and that's gonna take care of a lot of the debulking. So now we're gonna be repeating the same motion all over again. We already did it with the 2 open and the 2 closed. So now we're gonna come back with the 1 open and the 1 closed and keep fading our way down so that way we could set up for the kill shot and blend out the very bottom. So we set a lot of the groundwork already, and now we just have to worry about that very bottom line. Let's go ahead and take the guard off of the clipper, start all the way closed, and now just little by little we can go notching our way up. We're gonna hit the very bottom with clipper all the way closed. And now, by the way, don't be afraid to remove hair, guys. You have to remove hair if you're gonna have any hope of getting the blend done. But here's the solace in that is, yes, we're gonna lift up the line a little bit with the clipper closed. Now we're gonna hit the notch 1. And yes, we're gonna lift the line a little bit, but the hair now is a little bit longer. Now when we go to the second notch, we're gonna pick up the hair a little more. Yes, the line's gonna be higher, but it's gonna be even longer, right? So every time that we work this notch higher and higher and higher, it feels scary because, oh my God, I'm taking the line too high, but that's how the graduation of a fade happens. The higher you get, the longer the hair is at each level, and eventually it all just blends together where a little bit of corner work, and you know, you can see this thing starting to come together. And now guys, we are pretty much coming to the end of the blend. Now we just have to do a little bit of detailing. Now, you notice we haven't used the half guard at all. The blend came together pretty nice without this half guard, but if we're gonna take this thing to the next level, now we can start using our halves, right? We can detail a little bit here with the half guard, with the 1.5 guard, and we can start picking up any little thing in between that we may have missed the first time around. So we'll be doing a little bit of lever play, and we'll be using the guards in between the ones that we used so far. So just a little bit of lever play, a little bit of clipper play, and we're just gonna little by little go knocking out all the little dark spots that we see, anything that is interrupting the smoothness of the gradients of this blend. Now y'all know too, when it comes to the lineup, man, I like taking that Tomb 45 Precision Pack pencil, scribbling a good bit on my glove, and I'm gonna be enhancing the lineup at the same time that I'm lining it up. If you need to get yourself some enhancement pencil, check the bottom left of this video because the products tagged, that's gonna be the best place for you to go ahead and get this if you wanna buy directly through YouTube. Of course, you can also use my discount code TitoCuts at tomb45.com. So whichever one of those two works better for you, shipping wise, whatever. But the reason I like to line up using the pencil is because for me personally, it's helped me avoid pushing back my clients unnecessarily. So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I would find myself chasing the line, right? Like I would start working my way from the outside and pushing it inward just to try to get it crispy and sharp. But then by the time that I look at the end of the haircut and it's all done, I'm like, dang, like I really pushed this guy back. So me using this pencil, it helps me create the contrast that I need on the first incision. I make my first punch of the line right there, and now I know, I'm like, hey, this is what I'm working with. So, you know, I don't have to chase lines anymore using this. I'm able to see, hey, the hair grows out to this point. Let me punch in the line right there where I want it to be. And bro, it's worked really, really well for me. I've been using this technique for years. You guys have probably already been seeing me do this on my channel here. But yeah, man, definitely check the tag products, man, so y'all can get yourself a pencil like this if you haven't tried this method yet. Some of you guys maybe have seen this done with talc powder. The problem with the talc powder, like it looks very similar. The look is going to be there, but the durability is non-existent. As soon as you go to wipe down the edge up or spray them down with some aftershave, the moisture from the aftershave, like that wetness, is gonna completely erase the powder, right? Because powder, you can't see it when it's wet. The wax from the pencil has a good bit of durability and a waterproof quality. Guys, look at how effortless it's gonna be to bald out the very bottom of this fade since we started with the clipper close. I remember in times past when I would go in with the trimmer and set a very harsh bald line, I learned very quickly that the harder the line you put in, the harder it is gonna be to take out. So that's why, guys, I highly recommend put those bald lines in with the clipper, because you're gonna be setting yourself up for success at the end of the cut. Look at how easily this is blending out. Love it. Now, the easiest way to attack a lineup, guys, is break it up into two pieces. You've got the left side and you've got the right side. If you start with your first incision in the very middle, then you work your way out to one corner. Now you're breaking it up into two easy jobs rather than one big difficult job. So we'll punch in the line in the middle and work our way to one corner, step back, check how it's looking. Then we're gonna move our way to the opposite corner, and as we're lining up, we can watch both sides and make sure that it's coming out balanced. Now, a thorough consultation helped me understand that my client wanted to make sure that his corners didn't look recessed or too thin. So that's why we left a little extra hair when we were cutting down with the grain, and I saved the corner trimming for my freehand with the clipper all the way closed, the 245 clipper. This gives me the highest level of control, so I'm able to watch the hair as I remove it, making sure I don't take too much off and leaving his hair looking nice and full. I love how this is coming together. Now, the most important thing is we made sure that the haircut looked sharp and looked really crispy before we started adding the enhancement. The reason that I use no drip on my clients, especially when it's their first time getting enhancements, is because this is a color that's actually designed to be used on the skin and not just have a side effect of tinting the skin because it's a hair dye, you know? This is one of those products that your clients with the most sensitive skin are gonna be able to get their enhancements with, and that's why I love the product. And yes, it is a temporary enhancement, but you know what else is? A razor sharp line. You know what else is a bald taper. Nothing lasts forever on a haircut. That's why we gotta make sure it looks crispy before and after the spray. Now, after you've applied the enhancements, it's nice to comb through the hair, because I feel like the enhanced look almost helps you see even clearer the hairs that are out of place. So comb through, see what hairs are sticking out and hanging over your enhanced edge up now, and that's just gonna continue to add more durability and length to the freshness of this haircut, man. Like, you know, don't forget that all the details matter so much. So I appreciate you guys watching this video, and if you're already subscribed to the 245 Academy, I'm gonna be seeing you guys there, because we're gonna have a longer, more in-depth, broken down version of this very same haircut tutorial, man. So I'll see you guys there. Don't forget to get all the products that you need. They're gonna be tagged in the bottom left here. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, man. I appreciate your guys' support, and I'll see you guys on the next tutorial, man. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the transformation, man. My guy came in looking totally different. Love this.